So there's a common misconception in the construction industry about project planning or project management. Um, don't get me wrong, using tools like Microsoft Project, Primavera P6, they're great tools. I've used them personally, me being coming from a construction kind of background, 10, 15 years in the construction industry as a sales planner, as a site manager, project planner, projects planner, a program manager, but over time and also especially with experience with using different systems, especially like Monday.com, you realize after many, many years, there was something missing back then. You don't realize it at that point in time. Um, these tools are like mainly designed for project planners, project managers, leaving out the critical input from like different departments heads or like different kind of team members to interact with the plan. As an example, a procurement team. They deal with purchase orders, they delay multiple emails from different vendors, suppliers, and issues, communication, and to report, let's say for an example, procurement department, they're not using definitely not MS Projects or Primavera to report back. They use maybe some other kind of system, maybe even Excel sheet to track this and provide that to different planner. You have different projects, many different, procurement department is dealing with all 20, 30 different active projects. There's multiple planners, etc. And how they communicate these updates that happen constantly on a day-to-day kind of instances and report back to the planners or to the project managers and how this information is shared. So that's why having a system like Monday.com is great because this input can happen right in real-time data as it happens. Procurement team are reporting back updates and raising issues or concerns. Project managers can see purchase orders when they're being raised and when it was raised and who raised it and how much the value was and why was this delayed, and if there's any kind of concerns. While same thing for the procurement team, they can reflect on the project plan and they can raise issues if they see, certain things, an item being the procurement or the lead time of these certain products or items that are being procured for the projects will be delayed. And that's, I'm not just referring back or referencing the procurement. It could be a design team. They face different issues with the clients during meetings or through email chains. um, the things can be delayed, changing in priorities within even the design team themselves, or other projects taking priorities. Feedbacks are often getting lost, approval from client being delayed, and that also has an impact on the plan. It has a ripple kind of effect across multiple projects. How long does this take to reflect change on the plan? Who flagged this issue to who? When did the planning or the management acknowledge this issue or this change request, whether it's coming from procurement, coming from design team, coming from a project manager? These almost like gaps make it like not impossible, but it makes it not realistic to really measure KPIs and turnaround times on purchase orders or task completions, um, rates on the departments or design approval time. Um, this is why Monday.com is such a let's say it's like a game changer because it bridges the gap by providing a centralized platform where every single department, not only the planners and the project managers, has access to this plan or different kind of processes within the company in itself or the organization. Like a procurement, a design. I didn't even mention the site team or the commissioning engineers or the site engineers, subcontractor, because there's a huge kind of gap from the early stage of the contract startup and the design of the project and the procurement that I can obviously go on for a very long time talking about how even the site team need to be aware of this or how they reflect updates on the plan or change requests, early warnings, raising different issues, and how those are tracked on what systems and who has accessibility or visibility of this from internal team, senior level executives, etc. how the procurement log delays or updates, directly into one system, and basically it instantly reflects this kind of risks or alarms onto the system or onto the master plan. Design team can provide feedback on a very specific task on this work breakdown structure of a project plan. Um, they don't need to update the plan themselves, but at least they can raise issues right there and then to that planner, so he can see, or the project manager can see this issue, or take action in real time, rather than after a day or two, where decisions need to be made right there and then, or risks needs to be highlighted right away, rather than having one project, one planner, one project manager. Issues can be mitigated right there and then. But when you're having multiple projects, multi-million kind of projects with a lot of different decision makers and a lot of stakeholders in this plan, different multiple 10, 20 designers, 5, 6, 7 project managers, 3, 4, 10 planners, procurement team, how this data is all ingested and visualized into one centralized place, is a very big game changer. I'm not mentioning like how the warehouse team or the subcontractors have visibility of the projects, and when they're how what dependency does the plan have within their own role. What's coming into the warehouse, what is leaving, when is what coming from the supplier, is this going to the site, is this going to the warehouse, and different kind of let's say capacity planning becomes very dynamic, not just for internal teams, but as I said, also for subcontractors, for suppliers, building capacity plan, forecasting different kind of metrics for rating, for even for suppliers. The money.com doesn't just streamline the project management, but almost it transforms it, from my perspective, having many 7 years experience working with monday.com, and at least 10, 15 years, I stopped counting many years, how many years experience in the construction industry. You have to break down the silos and like enable like real-time collaboration for the entire team that responsible for the delivery of the project, from the complete life cycle of the project, from the contract handover all the way to the commissioning and handover to the client. It ensures like every single decision is in a timely manner. Every delay is visible. Every team member is even empowered with this kind of system is in place. I believe that's how you truly keep a project and on track.